Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, and some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Lucas's Path. So y'all, I'm running the latest build right now, which means plenty more content for actually every path of the game. So I'm gonna keep going through Lucas's content, then I'm gonna circle back around and do some more of our favorite otter, and then we're gonna do Lee. So anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright. But before I can truly sink into his warmth, he pulls away sharply. I open my eyes, and he's put distance between us, and his eyes are wide. I'm trying my hardest to not shiver, as every nerve in my body is lit up like a short-circuiting computer. Lucas isn't even able to hold himself back, his hands quivering and shivers running through his body. The other sounds between us are our combined panting, echoing off the walls to show our combined mixture of explosive emotions. He looks taken aback. It's like he's almost in a dreamlike state, but not in a whimsical way. More like he's out of touch with reality. He would look beautiful if it wasn't for the look of pure terror in his eyes. What's wrong? Nothing. Just forget that ever happened. But I'm serious. That was a mistake. Just forget about it, okay? Okay, I will. Are you okay? I'm fine. Are you sure? Because if I... Please, just forget that happened. Let's just move on and pretend that never happened, alright? He's looking at me with pleading eyes now, begging me to just give in to whatever he's saying. There's a massive part of me that doesn't want to just forget about this, but the desperation in his voice is stopping me. Alright. Good. He sits back on the bed, rubbing his hands over his face, his protruding claws barely avoiding his eyeballs. He looks exhausted all of a sudden. It's clear this isn't just his nerves. I should get going. What? Okay. Do you want me to walk you back? No, I'm fine. Thanks for the night. It was really great. I mean it. We should go back there soon. Sooner rather than later. That brings a smile back to my face and he returns it. There's still some heaviness to his eyes, but it's nowhere near as bad as moments ago. He pulls off the bed, and for a second, I think he's about to tumble over with how unsteady he is on his feet. His legs look like they're made of jello. Despite how worrying things were just moments ago, it helps lighten the mood a little. It's very cute, and I can't help but be amused. But it doesn't fully take away from the sinking feeling beginning to stew in my chest. Instead of dwelling on it, I opt to bring up something that's been on my mind lately. We need to go out with Aura and get some new clothes. I keep forgetting to ask him about it. He stops at that, and I'm nearly certain that he's about to retort with some kind of negative comment, but he looks like he's seriously considering it. Though there is a moment where he looks down at his shirt, mildly offended. I suppose some variety wouldn't be the worst. You'd like that. I don't think it would hurt. I bet Aura has a great sense of style for what you look good in. Or he'd try to put me into something skimpy like he did with you last night. My face heats up at the memory of the occasional draft tickling my waist. It wasn't nearly as bad as some of the other stuff I've seen from him, but it certainly didn't fit properly. Surely he wouldn't do that. I think you give him too much credit, but you never really know with him. He's been annoying me about it the last couple days. He probably would have dragged us out tomorrow regardless. He pulls out his phone and taps his screen a couple times before hesitating. One of his eyes twitches as he reads something on his screen, and he lets out a sigh as he puts it away. Aura's got someone over tonight. I'm not even going to ask who it is, but I have a feeling it's either Lee or Bruce. You think Lee's going to sleep with Aura? Yes. There's no hesitation from him, and his stern expression makes it clear he's not joking. He truly believes that they're going to sleep with each other. Why's that? Aura's been fawning over him since they met again, and he won't shut up about how great he is. He keeps calling it fate, despite most of the time just talking about how hot he is. It's draining. But why do you think Lee would sleep with him? He tells Oscar off for doing similar behavior. Aura is not the same as Oscar. There's a coolness to his voice, and I know I'm stepping into some dangerous territory. Regardless of how much progress they made as friends yesterday, they're still not close. I don't know that he wants to fuck him. I don't ever know what's going on in his head, but if Aura wants something, he'll get it. It's not ominous at all. It's just the truth. Anyway, the room is going to be occupied for a while. Do you think I can stay here for the night? Oh, sure. Do you... He licks his lips and refuses to make eye contact with me, a little blush peeking through the furrow on his ears and cheeks. His ears are flicking, and he brings a hand up to keep them in place. It's very adorable. Think I can sleep with you? Just sleep. I really enjoyed last night, and want to do it again, if that's okay. Now it's my turn for my face to light up like fireworks on the 4th of July. It was only moments ago he near yelled at me to forget about the kiss, and now he wants to cuddle again. I'd say I'm getting mixed messages, but Lucas has always been surprisingly open to physical affection, which is surprising considering how repulsed by Oscar he is. Second, y'all. Water time. In fact, it's only really with me he feels comfortable doing stuff like that with. I'm gonna try not to think about that too much for both of our sakes. He's beginning to shuffle nervously, waiting for my reply, and I force myself out of my head, giving him as sweet of a smile as I can muster. I don't mind it. I really enjoyed it last night, too. Your, fur is really soft, and it's like sleeping with another blanket. It's warm. He comes back and joins me on my bed again, sitting so close that our knees are bumping into each other as we sit cross-legged. It's a contrast from how much he pulled away after the kiss. I don't get much sleep. It's usually only for a couple of hours, if I'm lucky. I end up just passing out throughout the day, usually while studying or reading. I'm sorry, I wish I could help with that. But you can. Last night was the best sleep I've had in years. I didn't even have nightmares either. It was perfect. He gives me a smile that's so full of warmth that it melts my heart to the point that I'm not able to resist pulling him into a hug, one that he doesn't hesitate to reciprocate. I'm glad I'm able to help. I'm here whenever you need it. Do you think we can sleep together more often then? It won't be every day, but it'll probably only be once or twice a week, but I'd really like it if we could. Of course! I mean, yeah. I'm sure you'd rather in your room than in here. It's nowhere near as nice as yours. I don't care either way. It's whatever is easier at the time. It's just sleeping, after all. The fact that he's acting so nonchalant about this is more shocking than what he's asking about. If I'd asked someone the same thing, my face would be an inferno. But I can't really complain either. Last night was really fun, and it was one of the better sleeps I've had in a while. He even helped when I was having some kind of night terror. Well, you're more than welcome here whenever you want to be. Thanks, Wallace. I really mean that. Would you want to get some sleep then? It's getting rather late. It's already peaking past 11, and while I do sometimes stay up later than that, we might have a busy day ahead of us if Aura wants to take us out tomorrow. I'd like that. Do you think you could put on some of your music again? The stuff you listen to is peaceful. I can't stop the dopey smile from appearing on my face. Usually people find my fondness for classical and instrumental music a bit strange, but it's nice to find someone who enjoys it as much as I do. Totally! I have a perfect playlist I put on after I wake up early with a nightmare. It's really soothing and not too loud. Let me just set it up. It doesn't take me long to get my laptop set up on the other bed. The soft tune's playing despite the screen dimmed to its lowest settings, leaving it barely glowing. Are you sure you should be leaving it on over there? I've scheduled it to shut down in 3 hours. We should be asleep by then, hopefully. He nods and moves off the bed and takes off his clothes. He carefully unbuttons each of them individually, and I'm not able to stop myself from just standing there awkwardly. He looks over at me with... He looks over at me with a raised eyebrow as he shrugs off his shirt. He folds it and places it onto the bed before crossing his arms. Are you going to sleep in those? You didn't wear anything last night. Right. Sorry. He just shakes his head before moving on to his pants, and I have to turn away so I don't get distracted again. It doesn't take long until the both of us are in our underwear, and I'm careful with very dim light. I'm already feeling awkward enough. I don't want to make things worse by causing an accident. Lucas, on the other hand, doesn't look to feel any issues at all. He's not trying to cover himself up and is just watching me as he waits for me to climb in first. A part of me wonders if I should suggest him sleeping in the other bed, but I already know that neither of us would prefer that, so I just climb in and scoot over as much as I can. Second, y'all. Water time. It's all in vain, though, as the moment Lucas crawls in after me, he presses right up against me and lays his head on my chest, snuggling up in that same intimate way as last night. Except this time he's fully conscious, and I am too. My face is alight, and my mouth feels dry. We did this last night and woke up this way, but doing it again with the knowledge that both of us are aware is enough to make my head spin. You should come closer to the middle. There's a lot more room on my side. Yeah, sure. Lucas doesn't even attempt to remove himself as I slide back, pressing the two of us closer together. I can feel his stomach against my side as I move my arm behind his back. Are you comfortable like that? Yeah, I like feeling your chest rise and your heartbeat is comfortable. It's nice, being this close to someone. As the shock of the situation dims, it's hard to argue with. There's something about having someone pressed against you that just makes everything safer. I guess it's just the fact that you're not alone. My mind wanders back to that kiss earlier. It's hard to not just lean down and do something like it again, but I'll try to just put it behind me like he said. Though the way he keeps brushing his claws through the fur on my lower stomach is certainly not helping. I just hope he doesn't go any lower and discover something else. It's very soothing, though. I'm beginning to drift off. I never really went to the mall much. I know Everwinter has a large one due to the massive student population, but my parents wouldn't take me out here since traffic was always too intense. There's a small shopping center nearby, but it was just a few stores and a restaurant. Nothing compared to this multi-storied building. Apparently there are 20 floors in this place. The top 10 floors are a cinema, and the rest of them are either stores or restaurants. The ground floor is a food court, too. I wasn't expecting so much variety. We didn't even come for lunch. We're here at the mercy of a pine marten who's absolutely glowing. It's both infectious and terrifying. I'm not sure what he's got in store for us. We should get some lunch while we're here. Don't you think so, Lulu? I wouldn't mind it. I haven't eaten anything, but we'll do that later. I just want to get this out of the way. Aw, don't be like that. It will be fun, trust me. You'll have a good time. You're excited, right, Walter? Yeah, I've never gone shopping for clothes without my parents. Even my favorite shirt was from my aunt for Christmas one year. That adorable pink one. Mm-hmm. My parents says she's super spiritual. I'm not really sure what that means other than she smokes weed and I'll meet weed a lot, but she said that pink suits me and I've been wearing it a lot ever since. Well, she said it gives good energy, but I think she basically meant that. Your family is weird. It's just her, but she's nice and really close with my mom despite being my dad's sister. We're not very close with our extended family, but we go to their house every Christmas and she has her family and friends there. Ooh, sounds like fun. Much more fun than my family's gatherings. They're so annoying and my cousins are all so gross. Too much money does that to you, I suppose. I mean, look at me. What about you, Lucas? What's Christmas like with your family? We just spend it together, just the three of us. We don't talk to the rest of our family. I haven't met any of my cousins and only saw my aunts when I was a kid. Oh, I'm sorry. Why? I don't care about people I've never met. I was just meaning, you must have been lonely. He doesn't respond to that and just keeps trudging along with Aura, who is skipping ahead with a little too much energy. The three of us look like such an odd trio. We have Aura, who is dressed to catch people's eyes, Lucas, who looks straight out of a business meeting, and me just being me. That's what we're here to solve. I know bringing Aura here is a good idea, but I know how much of a mischievous spirit he can be. I still remember the extensive teasing I had when I first met him. It's hard for me to not be in a great mood after waking up to Lucas staring up at me again. There's something about the sight of him smiling up at me with his cheek on my chest that just makes my world spin. He asked if we could just stay there, but I knew if we didn't do this today, then we'd never do it. I just hope I don't regret it. Apparently the pine marten had jumped him as soon as he got back in his room and had been sorely disappointed by the lack of any action. Second, y'all, water time. Alright. Though, I guess there was a bit more action than he was expecting, but I feel like telling him that would be the worst possible thing. There's no way he wouldn't talk to Lucas about it. It's hard to forget about that. It's clear that Lucas is having trouble too. After we met up again, whenever our eyes met, he'd look away and I'm certain his ears grew darker. It's a little crazy that he's so casual about cuddling up to me in bed like it's the most normal thing in the world and completely shameless about being naked, but our kiss is the thing that sets him off. I can't deny it's cute though. It just makes things significantly more harder to forget, even if he told me to. How can I? Earth to Wallace, are you in there, hun? Aura's voice brings me out of my head, and I can see that we've come to a stop next to a clothing store. The place looks expensive, and the two of them are standing there, are both staring at me in worry. Sorry, I was just thinking about something. Did you ask me something? No, we're just going to head in, and you were just standing there. Did you hit your head? He's being dramatic. No, I'm not. Anyway, this is a fur de fleur, aka the best thing to come out of my country. Other than me, of course. He guides us in, and I'm bombarded with a barrage of different scents. It's like a mixture of cologne, perfume, and rug cleaner. Talk about a dizzying concoction. Lucas looks taken aback, actively snorting to try to get the smell out of his nose. His face is shriveled so much that I'm worried he might pull a muscle. What is that awful smell? Why does it smell like a laundromat? They get the carpets cleaned on Fridays. Normally it doesn't smell this bad. Plus, you can barely smell it over the wonderful scent of excessively overpriced deodorants. Nothing you own is this intense. It's like someone sprayed it into my nose. The fox is actively covering his nose now, causing his voice to have a nasal sound to it. It's cute enough to bring a smile to my face, but worrying enough for me to be concerned. Should we go somewhere else? No, I'm fine. I'll get used to it in a bit. I've dealt with my parents taking me to business dinners with people who reek of this kind of stuff. It's worse than if they smelled bad. You say that now, but then you remember how bad people smell, and you'll be grateful for this wonderful little bottle. Alright, guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to check out the Patreon, y'all. Bye-bye!